Hello everyone, welcome back to Drugstore Beauty Week. I hope that you guys are enjoying the videos so far. We are currently halfway through Drugstore Beauty Week and yesterday Estee put up a Drugstore Beauty haul somewhere linked on the screen right now. So if you haven't seen Estee's video from yesterday, make sure you click on the video and go and check it out. The link will also be in the information box below. But this video is currently going to be a foundation routine, as you can probably tell because my face is fully naked. This is like my foundation routine when I want to look like flawless, you know? This isn't like a very easy breezy 2-minute thing. It is like the full hog of products. So I'm going to show you guys quite a lot of good stuff. The first thing I'm going to start off with is a primer. This is something that I always use when I want my foundation to last longer. It's the Rimmel Fix and Perfect Pro Primer. It's kind of like a white creamy texture. It doesn't really look like much when you squirt it. Squeeze. Let's go with squeeze. It out the tube, and I just rub that into my skin. It leaves like a really nice kind of hydrated base. It mattifies, doesn't let any shine through, and just kind of like smooths over the skin. So I mainly take that down the center of my face, really like working it in with my fingers. What a surprise! I'm going to use my L'Oreal True Match foundation. You guys would have seen me mention this in my top 10 Holy Grail drugstore products that went up on Monday. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it below. And I'm going to use my favorite foundation brush. This is from Real Techniques. Loads of you guys have actually been asking me how I apply this. Now, I don't buff it in. I kind of like sweep it down my cheeks, as you can see now, and then I just kind of like blend in the edges. I stay clear of my under eye area because that's where I'm going to be applying concealer and stuff. And then I just kind of like take it around my chin. I go around my jawline, buffing in product there because, you know, that awkward line though. This is quite a liquidy foundation, but I would say it blends really well. It gives nice medium to full coverage. It's quite buildable. It is really long lasting, but it's great for looking like skin. I would say it does have the tendency to kind of highlight pores, so if you're someone that is quite obsessed about pores and your pore size, I would stay a bit clear of this one because it does tend to like sink into pores after a while. That is the one problem I find with it, and also make sure that your skin is hydrated beforehand because it does have the tendency to cling to dry patches too. But it photographs really nicely, which is my favorite plus about it. I'm one of those people that apply foundation and then concealer, and you will have also seen this in my top 10 Holy Grail drugstore products video. That is such a long title, seriously. This is the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Rewind Concealer. I'm going to show you guys how I use this. I take it like all along my under eyes. You probably just heard me twist it up, and this sponge, actually, I really like it. Even though some people say it's unhygienic, I love this sponge. I always take my concealer in the inner corner of my eye there, just because that vein that makes my under eyes so blue, that starts right there and it kind of pops out at you. This concealer is so good, it's so blendable, and I just blend the edges out with my fingers. I don't actually find it needs too much blending, like at all. I could basically blend this in with my eyes closed if I wanted to, like I am right now. Oh, make sure I don't poke myself in the eye there. Oh, see? See? Do you see what I did there? Kind of not. It is so lightweight, and if you're someone that has like dry under eyes and that tend to get a bit kind of like dehydrated and concealer tends to cake up there, then this is definitely one to check out because it makes sure everything stays nice and hydrated as well as kind of concealed and covered. Something I always like to do is use yellow concealer just to kind of brighten everything up. It gives that Kim K kind of look, and I have been using this recently. I'm going to tell you about this in a second, but I'm using my L'Oreal Touche Magique concealer. Now this dries really quickly, so I'm only going to apply it to half my eye, and I just kind of take it in a little triangle situation over here. And I'm using the Real Techniques version of the Beauty Blend. It's their Real Techniques Complexion sponge or something. I do run it under cold water before I use it and then just dab it into the skin. Honestly guys, I much prefer the Beauty Blender. I find it a bit more bouncy than this, but this is a great alternative, especially when you find that you've applied too much product like I just did there, and you want something to blend it out. You guys can see the difference. This is the side I've applied the yellow concealer, and this side of the face looks much more lifted and awake. I'm a big fan of sponges. I think they work really nicely at blending the product into the skin, especially when you're in a kind of like high definition, if that makes sense. Like if you're outside in sunlight or if you're on camera, sponges make everything look much more kind of flawless and seamless. I would say with sponges though, guys, the wetter the better. I run mine under cold water maybe like 2 or 3 times, squeeze out any excess, kind of like squeeze it in a towel, and then it's good to use it. I definitely do not recommend these dry. I always notice that my nose gets a bit red, so I like to use a kind of darker concealer. This one is by Vichy. It's one of my favorites for concealing like redness or blemishes or anything like that. It's their Dermablend concealer. When I'm using a sponge, I kind of do like dabbing, pressing and tapping motions as opposed to like dragging. Another product I mentioned in my top 10 holy grail items, I'm happy you guys can see these all in action now. This is the Bourjois Healthy Balance Powder. I use this every single day. Now powder is like completely up to you where you want to apply your powder, that kind of thing. I just take mine down the center of my face because that's where I get the most shiny. I'm also going to show you guys like bronzer and blusher and stuff because why not, you know? So this is the Maybelline Dream Sun Bronzer. It's matte, it's really nice on the skin, you guys will see now. But if you're any darker skin color than me, this probably wouldn't show up on you because it is quite a pale bronzer. You guys have seen me rave about this quite a bit recently. It's from Barry M. It's their Chiseled Cheeks Contour Kit. I've got a whole post on it. I think it is a really good drugstore alternative to the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette thing. I'm going to use this cool tone shade right now just in my cheekbones to extra define and enhance them. I love this color. I think it's a really great shadow kind of color without making you look muddy or dirty. I'm feeling the sugar high I've got. I just probably spoke with my mouth full. That must have been so unattractive. I apologize. I'm eating dairy milk buttons, so all thought process go out the window when these are around. I need to put them far away. I really wanted to show you my Milani Baked Blush in action, and I picked my favorite shade. This is Luminoso. It's kind of like a peachy with a golden sheen in it. You don't actually need to use a highlighter when you're using these blushes, and I just take that just above where I applied the bronzer and the contour. I hope you guys found this video helpful and like seeing the kind of lengthy process of all the foundation-y steps. And if you missed Este's haul video yesterday, the link will be somewhere on the screen right now and you can click it and go and watch the video, or the actual link will be in the information box below, as well as every single other Drugstore Beauty Week video that has happened so far. But I will see you guys on Friday for the last part of Drugstore Beauty Week. I really hope that you're enjoying it so far, and I will see you then. Bye! And this is the first video. This is going to be my top 10 holy grail drugstore items. It was so hard narrowing it down to 10 things, but I've got them all here, and the previous videos that we've both done are Q&As, and those went up yesterday, and I'll leave.
Hi guys. This is my smile and this is my pouch.
Okay, do it. Which one was which? Wait, that's the smile.
Yeah,
yeah. Do your pouch.